Test 1, 1, 2. I'm going to turn this back up.
Boom.
Because I fucked with shit.
I like it like that. Don't rewind.
Yeah, baby. Said boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say way-oh. You did it poorly.
Way-oh.
Here's mofo.
Bam. Doesn't it smell good?
It does.
Yeah.
It smells like, it's like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it smells like. I'm not sure if that's what, yeah.
Try it.
That's good.
It's not
good.
It's not too alcohol-y.
No.
So that's the dangerous part of like, oh, it tastes like juice. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this will be good. Plus the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Booze.
The other
the other
thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
It's the lack of respect that hurts the most.
I know.
Well, actually, it's the other thing that hurts the most. But
What are you going to do?
I need to talk to you about that.
Okay.
Actually, do you know what that's from?
What?
The quote I just said.
Say it again.
No, I'll tell you in a second.
Goddamn.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opposite of important. My name is Lance. Over here we have
Joe.
Thank you for joining us on this fine, fine day or evening, depending upon whenever you might be listening.
Could be crack of dawn.
It could be.
Yeah.
I don't know when people listen.
I feel bad.
What
for
are you
dawn.
doing out there right now? Are you driving to work? Are you driving home from work?
Yeah.
You working the late shift?
Are you showering?
Are you painting? Somebody
Yeah.
out there might be painting.
Hey.
I don't know.
You could be
never
in
know.
the hot tub with like a big screen.
Mhm.
I don't know what you're doing.
Make sure it's properly mounted.
You don't want that shit going.
Otherwise, that wouldn't end so well. Move your mic a little bit closer.
Yep.
I know you want to do a little drinky. Do you like having the pillow behind you?
Actually, it kind of helps.
Does that help you?
It actually
Keeps you forward?
Keeps me forward, and
I
it
should
helps.
try to find a pillow. I don't know if that. I know I get a little slouchy from time to time, but I do that for the fans.
It helps my back a bit. I hate going to bars where they don't have back. Like I sound so old saying that, but like
You mean just like the stools by themselves? How those are
Yeah.
uncomfortable? Yeah,
I
don't
just
like
can't
those.
do it because after a while you're up and then you're like.
I mean, if you have something to lean forward on,
Yeah.
like, if you're leaning on a bar or a table and you don't ever have the need to go back, then I suppose it works. But other
Yeah.
than that, it sucks.
Yeah.
A lot.
like the stools at Time Out. I love those stools. They're like nice and sturdy and
Yeah.
square. They're not round. They're kind of cool,
It's hip to be
But
square.
I can't sit on that for a whole like trivia night, for example. I have to like get off and like stand for a while.
Right.
Then I'm like, gee. But if it had a back to it, like I can sit all night at the
Yeah.
bar because those are the ones that have the back on it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not.
Well, yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's what we need. We need a bar that just has all of like chairs just like this. So it's a
lounge.
Yeah, it would be it'd be lower than counter height. I don't know what you would call it. Table height bar. It's like when you go to the
Tabletop.
There you go. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to the casino and they have the lower down table. I think it's primarily for handicap accessibility purposes, but it should also be for my lounging.
See?
Yeah.
That reminds me of London, the 5-star hotel that we stayed at
Okay.
when we went on a family vacation. And downstairs was where we had breakfast, like the typical hotel, which is different because it's British,
So there was an accent.
There was an accent, but the food was different,
Okay.
Like they didn't have little boxes of cereal.
Okay.
Things like that, where it's like, oh, you don't have eggs and pancakes and all the gluttony. Weird.
I remember that. I told you that I'm gonna let you finish, but I told you the story about going to Pizza Hut
Oh, yeah.
because it was in Notting Hill next to where we were staying, and they didn't have like sausage pizza.
I'm like,
And I'm like,
who the hell are you?
wait, how do you you don't even know what that is?
Right?
'Cause they looked at me like I was crazy. but it was still cool because I did get Pizza Hut and we got the breadsticks. Breadsticks are they're so good.
You can't mess up breadsticks.
Well, and it was like we had been there for a week. We had eaten out a lot of other places, and this was still fairly expensive because of the conversion rate and everything like that. But it was like we never left.
Right. It's like, every place is Pizza Hut. Yeah, so this hotel that we're in, like the area where we got breakfast,
Yeah.
was like typical, and we're like, okay, nice room, whatever. And then that day we all kind of went out, and I was 18. I just
Okay.
turned 18. We went in like, birthdays in May. We went in June.
Yep.
I'm like, this is fucking great. And I wound up we wound up going to like some convenience store or
Yeah.
something, and my dad's like, pick out a beer. I'm like, this is weird. I'm 18. This is
Yeah.
cool, And so found a beer. It's like, why don't you guys? We'll have a hotel night. We had like one night where we just kind of called it a little early, and we just kind of hung out in the hotel for a bit after. It was a 10-day trip, but yeah. So we kind of planned like a slower night, and my dad's like, why don't you boys pick a beer? And I'm like, I gotta go with some. I picked a Heineken.
Ah.
It's pretty good.
Well, they had pretty appealing advertising.
They did
back in the day.
They did. So
I remember seeing those commercials, and even though I didn't like and still really don't like beer, it was like, that's that would be one I would try, and I did, and it wasn't terrible.
yeah, it was. It
As
wasn't
far
too
as
hoppy.
beers go.
Yeah. So I went with the can. It was a tall boy. And
Is the Heineken one the one that looks like a keg? Do they make it look?
they do
okay.
make a keg.
Nice.
And I bought that in college, so that was pretty fun.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, I guess I'm this adult. So there we go. So
The best kind of adult.
yeah. So I pick out a Heineken.
Mm-hmm.
My brother picks out a Heineken in glass because he was being snooty about stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I mean, glass tastes better. I'm like, okay, all right. And we go back to the hotel room. Guess who doesn't have a bottle opener? So I am sitting there going, oh, shoot, sucks. And he's going around the room.
Sucks to suck.
Trying to like find a way to crack it open, and he went to the handle of like the dresser and tried to find what, and knocked on mom and dad's door and hey, do you have an open? Like, no, I guess that's something we didn't pack.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm like, you know what? After like a half hour, I'm like, I bet you downstairs would probably have it, like the place where we had breakfast.
Yeah.
So my brother goes down there in like flannel pants, like pajama pants, and like a tube sock that's hanging off the foot like that.
Perfect.
Flapping in the wind.
Perfect.
And then he goes and to that place, and he's like, oh, they transform it into a lounge. So there was like couches everywhere. So at night it's a lounge. In the morning it's like a breakfast place that they turn it into. So it was like super fancy. He's like, there was guys in suits, and like we should have gone down there in hindsight, but
Yeah.
it looked fancy. And then the guy who was like there was like a little, I don't know, host desk there. And then my brother shows up with his with his beer, and he's like, hey, do you have an opener? And then this guy's like, are you a resident here? And just like really
Wow.
He's like, yeah, I'm up at 312. Who
Yep.
gives a shit? And then and then he just kind of positioned himself in a way where no one else would see my brother, and just go, "Psh, fine here." It's like- meanwhile, I'm already down like a half, like a beer. I'm like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah. It was a fun experience. It's fine. Do you notice anything a little different in the room today? Like something multiplied?
Was there a cold front that came in here recently?
Sort of.
Like, wait a minute.
We now have some fresh snow in our studio. I figure 'tis the season.
Comes with glitter.
Might as well do it. Yeah, the glitter is included, and it ended up all over the floor, so I had to clean that up.
Oh,
it was great.
Boo.
Yeah. We got 2 more gremlins
Yes.
in our choir here. I hope everybody enjoys that. It's pretty fun. We are now midweek, right?
That's right.
So how are we feeling about this week?
It's okay. I'm in new territory with the kitties. Just adopted.
That's right.
That's news.
That isn't. We're breaking news. That's a Morse code, right?
Yeah. Well, like if you watch, Good Morning Vietnam, it was like a ticker, and it would come out.
Oh, that's true.
Like
That's true.
or
All right,
something
we
like
need
that.
the lowdown on the cats, and go.
All right, I got cats and kidding. Sorry,
That's
I got kittens
Yeah.
in 5 days. I was kind of on the fence about getting some kittens, and then Becky showed me like a good shelter that I should do, and
Yeah.
I kind of balled it around in my head, and then found out like a Wednesday. I'm like, fine, I'll just do it. Cats are cats. I'll just get through it. And on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving application, Thanksgiving, I think I got like an email late Thanksgiving. So they were like, "Hey, we're gonna put you in from a coordinator. We're gonna put you in contact with the foster family with the cats." And then minutes later, foster family sent me an email, and then we made Saturday. I met them. Sunday night is when I was making correspondence and made payment, and then Monday was when I picked up the cats. Just
Nice.
bam, bam, bam. Nowhere. And I was really excited that I got the cats I wanted, because I was totally expecting the better looking cats to be like, oh, someone spoken for. So yeah, now I have kittens.
Nice.
And they know my house. They own my house.
And their names are...
All right, this one was fun. They were already named like you do at a shelter, and one was a boy and a girl. One's Anastasia, and one's Flakes. And I kind of liked Flakes, but that's maybe his middle name now. So, I was trying to be creative and find like, oh, I should do stand-up comics. That'd be great.
Right.
And it was really hard to find a duo that was male-female. But
Yeah.
it was like, oh man, unless you go back to like the Lucille Ball days or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, wound up calling one of them Tig after Tig Notaro, and Nealon after Kevin Nealon. So
Good names.
yeah,
Solid names.
for cats, yeah.
Yeah. And what are they like at home right now?
Nealon is the boy cat, and he's a little bit more chill.
Uh-huh.
He's a little more ballsy with like jumping off the couch and like, and doing like his little running around.
Excellent.
And Tig's a little more timid. And she'll kind of like look at me and let me pet her like twice, and then she'll kind of run away. But occasionally we'll have moments where she'll let me hold her for a little while.
Excellent.
And, so she's just a little more timid, but I'm wondering, I haven't heard either kitten purr yet.
Ah, okay.
So I think they're still getting kind of acclimated.
You got to earn it.
I bet. Yeah. They're 2 months old. I'm 31 and a half.
They'll once they get settled, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's a thing that even the meanest of cats will do.
Right. But it's fun because right now they're totally just running around tackling each other.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, this is fun to watch. And yeah, like I was telling you earlier, like I don't need to run around with a little feather on a stick. Like,
That's true. Yeah.
So
They've got it all figured out right now.
They do.
It's all play all the time.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I'm doing okay with that. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So that was this week. Yeah.
So wait, you got them
Monday.
on sad.
What?
I was hoping it was Saturday, so we could have called it Catterday.
Ah.
Remember Catterday? That was
the
the thing that was all over the internet. You don't remember that?
I know of the term.
And I'm not even sure if it was on Saturday, but they would just say that every day was Catterday. And then that's when all the cat memes started.
Yeah.
Remember the one, there was like a hole up in the ceiling and the cat looking down on the room? You don't remember this shit?
No.
Catterday was a thing, man.
I'll look it up.
For this episode, I know we don't typically do it this early, but we're going to take a break early.
Wow.
And we will be right back.
Boom.
We're going to get into some stuff. Just like those cats.
Yeah. It's like...
There. We are back in black. And I don't know, man. My headphones are being weird. Don't be surprised if I take them off. Because it's, I don't know. There's something weird going on with this thing. Anyway, yeah. Welcome back, everybody. How are you doing?
Jeez.
You doing good?
Yeah.
Doing fine.
Taking care of yourself, doing your yoga, kombucha.
Have you done any yoga? Ever?
Simple poses.
Okay.
I've never actually been to like a class, but
Yeah.
there's parties where someone's kind of showing off, and then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
Holding a tree seems simple, but
Yeah.
takes a moment, takes a little while.
I don't really know what you're talking about, so you should tell me.
Tree pose is with you got one foot that's supporting your weight, and then you take the other leg and you go basically as far into your crotch as you can. So then you have your thigh kind of like that. While you do this up at the top.
Okay.
So that's a tree. And then there's downward facing dog, and then it gets into Kama Sutra probably, and it's like yeah. So I mean, I've done it just to see if I could do it.
Yeah.
But then, it's interesting because whoever's kind of teaching is like, well, you should be able to hold that pose for 2 minutes. It's like, Jesus, what? It's like, so I've kind of done yoga.
I've never done any. I've seen it done. I think did I film a thing for a hot yoga thing? I don't know. It was a long time, but like I've seen it done, and I've got people I know that really like it and subscribe to that lifestyle.
Dude, I've had grass-fed beef.
Yeah?
So good.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you? Well, yeah. I mean,
have you ever had grass-fed beef?
Yeah, because that's my wife's family. They're farmers.
That's fair.
So they have. so they have cows out there that eat grass.
Or grain or whatever.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't know. We got the grass fed from like Wheatsfield.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You're a little more like farm to table there.
Yeah. That's true.
It's good stuff.
That's true. No, I definitely have. And I mean, for a long time, that would be the most readily available beef to us. And I try not to eat as much beef anymore, red meat. And so that kind of...
There's just a difference, and it tasted pretty good.
Yeah. No. I think it tastes healthier for you. It just tastes better. Yeah. But we had that all the time.
Damn.
Because we would go and visit like on the weekend. Back when we first started getting them, we had the apartment over by Iowa City, and we would come back on the weekends, and they would have a freezer full, and they would say we got X amount of a cow or blah blah blah, and so they had steaks, hamburger patties, like everything was all good to go, and they're just like, here, take all this meat.
Okay.
Which is why we ate so much of it back in the day. Yeah. Like, and we still have it available to us, and we could even go and just purchase a fourth of a cow or something like that. Yeah. But I try not to have so much.
That's fair.
And I think it's debatable whether or not it actually makes a difference health-wise, but I tend to think that it does. Oh, so
there you go.
I guess we'll see when I die and what the reason is.
Boo.
Then we'll know.
Oh no, it was my cholesterol, wasn't it?
I should have known.
Yeah, we grew up with like going up to the locker occasionally.
Yeah,
buying a half a pig.
Okay,
it's like, oh, it's got ribs and there's pork chops and bacon. That was the best decision.
Yeah,
and that I never knew you could do. When your dad comes home, it's like, hey, we bought a half a pig. We got to clear some space in the freezer. You bought a half a pig? Like, yeah.
What are we supposed to do with that?
I'm like, what?
That's funny. This is just fucking driving me crazy, dude.
Like,
I think it might be better. Test. Yeah.
Test.
We're good.
You check 1,
We're good.
2.
I like it.
I like that.
I like it a lot.
Rewind it back.
Test 1, 1, 2. I'm gonna turn this back up.
Boom.
Because I fucked with shit.
I like it like that. Don't rewind.
Yeah, baby. Say boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say way-o. You did it poorly.
Way-o. You gotta think the drunk.
You gotta call back.
Way-o. Yeah, okay. Songs that need work. When I say
name a song that needs work.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Yeah, well, that doesn't even count.
Top 40, man. Why not?
It was top 40 in the 40s.
See, probably.
They had. Let's see, who would have been a popular act in 1940? Um,
When did the Stooges come out?
the Three Stooges?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
That'd be a great name for a band, the Stooges.
Would that be? Nah, that wouldn't be
No.
40s, 50s, right?
It's not like okay.
I mean, think about how television had to be. I mean,
You
it
had
would
to
have
have
been in most living rooms.
that makes sense.
I bet 50s.
Damn it.
Yeah.
That goes a little
Where's
big act.
here? Hold on. Hey, Echo. When did the Three Stooges premiere?
The film The Three Stooges
No.
was released about 8 years ago on April 13th,
Echo.
2012.
Stop. God damn it. I didn't even know that I would need to be that specific
Yeah,
to not
it's like-
say the Echo. When did the television show The Three Stooges start?
Here's something I found on the internet.
Excellent.
Mo Howard died on May 4th, 1975.
Well,
Curly
Mo's
Howard
dead.
died on January 18th,
Curly's dead.
1952. Larry Fine died on January 24th, 1975.
All right.
And thanks for
She
downing that.
You know, she doesn't know anything.
Anyway, 30s? Were we talking 30s?
I said 40s.
40s.
I don't even know what we were talking about anymore.
Popular acts of the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be Jesus Christ. Like,
Bobby Darin? Was he out yet? No, that was 50s, 60s.
Elvis
Right.
wasn't around.
No.
Damn.
Nobody good.
No, because like all the classics, as you were saying, well,
It's different.
because you'd have to have a TV to know it.
That's true.
Because I was going to say,
Yeah.
like, 40s. Like something black and white that's just kind of classic.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he's classic.
And black and white.
And he's black and white.
That's funny.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
All right. This wasn't necessarily originally planned,
Nah.
but I'm going to talk about something, and it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a little one-sided,
All right.
but I'm going to share it anyway.
All right.
Okay? And the reason why it's one-sided is that I don't know that you know a lot about this topic, and that's not bad. You just, it's not your thing. But how do I lead into this? I am a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. I've liked the show for many years, and we are now rewatching the show with my family. Not Leia, because it has nothing to do with the content of the show, but she would like to sit in a room separate from us and watch Disney Junior.
There you go.
If we, as the rest of the family, are going to be watching a television show that she deems terrible, she would much rather take that same opportunity to watch TV and watch a show called Bluey on
Hey,
Disney Junior.
starts with the B.
Exactly.
It's getting a little closer to Buffy. It's like,
So close.
that was her first word, wasn't it? It was Buffy.
No, what was Leia's first word? I forget.
The Force. That's the two.
No, that's not what it is.
That'd be so great.
It would be great, but that's definitely not
It's
what
like
it was.
all the stars aligned.
Yeah. So anyway, big fan of Buffy.
Yeah.
We've been rewatching it, and in the past, I've had the opportunity to meet a couple of people from the show, including Julie Benz,
Ooh.
who was also on Dexter.
Yeah.
But then she, in addition to Dexter, was also in the movie. She was in the second George of the Jungle movie.
Oh my gosh.
She was also, she's done other shit. I just can't think of it. And also at a convention one time, I did meet James Marsters.
Ooh.
Now, he played Spike in the show. He is originally a baddie. He's a bad guy, but he evolves. He gets a little bit more of a storyline and a bigger character in the show. And even when he was bad, he was still likable.
Huh.
But it's funny, he's one of the rare people that is American, but speaks in a British accent on a show. As opposed to most shows and movies
Other way
where
around.
we get all of the Brit actors
Yeah.
and they have
They
to
tighten it up.
pretend like they're not. Like Hugh Laurie
Yeah.
in House.
And it's like, what?
He's
Yeah.
very not originally from here.
Or
What do you got?
Wolverine.
Oh, Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
It's Australian.
Where like I didn't know that for the longest time because X-Men came out and I was like 10. And then
hearing him, you wouldn't second guess it.
yeah.
Right.
And then like he was on some fill in the blank show. And Hugh Jackman, hi, how you doing? I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's like, I didn't know he was from Australia.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Then they made that movie, Australia.
Yep.
Terrible.
With
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
that's right. And Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it had a lot of really neat looking shots in it. It seemed, was the movie in a constant state of a sunset? Because that's what I remember from the trailer.
Of which one?
Of Australia.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I just remember looking at the trailer and it seemed like a lot of the shots were at the magic hour.
There's that.
Which, by the way, our magic hour is now at about 3:30.
Yeah. There was like a lot of stuff on fire. I don't know. I think some
In
shit.
the movie there was?
Yeah, I think some shit went down.
What?
I never saw it.
All right. Well, they seemed really happy and singing for there to be a fire going on in the background.
I don't know. Maybe it was a different cut.
I don't know.
Australia. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
I don't know how that works. Anyway, over the Thanksgiving weekend and then into Monday, they have all of these sales, including the Cyber Monday sales.
Yeah.
Lately, we've been doing some things on this site called Cameo.
That's right.
And so they had a deal that some of their people were offering discounted prices for their cameos.
Yeah.
And I recently found out that Nicholas Brendon was on Cameo.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he plays the character Xander Harris in Buffy. He is one of the main 3 characters.
Okay.
That's kind of the core of the show. Well, yeah. I guess Giles is in there too. But Anthony Stewart Head, a great actor, also does theater. He plays Buffy's Watcher and kind of like a father figure to a lot of these kids. I say kids because it started in high school. I'm trying to explain it to Joe. Otherwise, none of this is going to make any sense.
Sorry, folks.
So basically,
don't hate me.
Basically, this episode is for the Buffy fans out there.
Cheers.
It's just a little treat for the Buffy fans. And one day, Joe's going to watch the show. And he's going to love it.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
Okay.
What have you seen? Besides what we've had on in the background upstairs.
Just that's what it was like. Where it was just like my brother and my dad were more into it.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
oh, so your brother and dad watched it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dad was huge into it.
Nice.
He just, I think he checked in like every week.
That's awesome.
And then he would always be like, "That's my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend." Teasing my mom.
Is that a thing that all parents do? Because I'm a parent now and I'd never do that. It seems like I hear of, I think Becky's dad, there used to be comments going around the house that he would like the show, what was it? Like Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, yeah.
And I just remember hearing in passing comments like that it was like, is that a thing?
How
is
did
that what we do?
Sound to that point?
Wow. I don't know.
Right? Would you ever like be watching a show and be like, "Becky, that's my girlfriend"?
She's like, "I know, honey. It's fine." Anyway.
They're on Cameo.
Yeah. So I got on Cameo. Nicholas Brendon's there. It wasn't expensive. So I just figured, what the hell? I would send this out there and see if it came back. And lo and behold, it did come back.
Oh, exciting.
Now, remember I told you that I met James Marsters. And I forget what convention that was. It's not important, but in my head I was trying to figure it out because I would like to remember. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that was. But while I was there, I got him to sign a picture for me, one of the 8x10s.
Oh, yeah.
Back then, I didn't print off my own ridiculous sized shit in order to get them to sign it. So I just got an 8x10 sign, and he was really nice. There's actually video footage of me out there talking to him.
Oh.
And on that same visit, we have a mutual friend, Christine. I had him sign something for her because she is a big Buffy fan.
Ooh.
Now, I go on to Cameo, and I see Nicholas Brendon, and I'm like, this is an opportunity
We've met before.
for. No, well, I've never.
nothing.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, actually, I have met him before, and it was weird. Okay, I'll tell the story. It's a past story, so we'll get back on track pretty quick. But I met Nicholas Brendon in DC. There was a convention there that they had Billy Piper from Doctor Who, and he was going to be there and a bunch of other stuff. And for some reason, I don't know if it was just Billy Piper or what, but myself and Courtney and William went out there for this convention. I met Nicholas Brendon. He was incredibly nice. He was so nice, so courteous. I just will not look at the picture that I got with him because I had braces at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't smile and take myself seriously.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting braces when I was like 32 or 33.
Prime age.
Yeah, it's pretty far in the rear view mirror now. But prime age, fuck you.
It's my age almost.
So that's, I mean,
Yeah.
you go in tomorrow, you have braces for a year plus.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine it? It was a terrible choice.
Mm.
So I have nothing but great memories of meeting him. I just will not put the picture anywhere. I don't think I've gone so far as to delete it, but I just can't stand myself smiling with those braces. It didn't look great on a 32-year-old me.
Even if you went
That's
in
all I'm saying.
and like scanned it and then like wee.
I don't know that you could, though, because it kind of changes the way that your mouth is even shaped
That's true.
when you have
Kind of puffs out
braces.
the lips a little bit.
Anyway, I already knew that he was a cool guy,
He's nice.
and so I hit him up. In the message that we've talked about this before, that you send a little message. In the message, I mentioned a couple things. I would love for him to just talk about Buffy in any capacity, whatever it is that he might like to say. I mentioned to him the fact that I asked him about his thoughts on the animated series. They had recorded an episode of a cartoon, and he talks about this a little bit, but everybody was in on it except for Sarah Michelle Gellar. She had better shit to do.
Like, okay.
You know, whatever. And then I also mentioned the comics, because in season 10 of the comics, he actually helped with the story and potentially some writing in it. And so I asked about that. And then last but not least, I said, give a shout out to my friend Christine.
Oh.
And I said, she would likely die.
Here we go. Hold on tight.
So, Christine, I know that you listen most of the time because you've let me know as such. This would be a bad episode for you to miss. And I understand that if you're missing it, you're not hearing this. So there's really no point in this conversation. Anyway, Joe, you as a huge fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
I have all the shirts.
I present to you, my friend, Nicholas Brendon.
Hello. Hi, Lance.
Oh my gosh.
Lance Harding, booked by Lance Harding.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know Lance Harding? Well, he booked you a cameo, my friend. Hello, big fan here. Would love to just hear you talk about Buffyverse, any cool memories, the animated series, working on the comics, favorite lines. Lastly, if you could just give me a shout out to Christine. Of course, hey, Christine, shout out. What's up, Christine? How are you? It could be witches, some evil witches, which is ridiculous because witches, they're a persecutor, wicked good, and love the earth and women power. And I'll be over here, Christine. She'd likely die. Okay, now what I need you to do, Lance, is I need you to pump the life back into her. You give her 3 stub like that, and you pump, and then 3 short breaths, and then pump. If that doesn't work, we have to shock her back. Shiggy, shock her. I hope you enjoyed that. Shout out, Christine. Okay, so talk about Buffyverse. Any cool memories? I mean, are there any? There are a lot of cool memories. It's like, where do you start on that one? I mean, fudge sickles, animated series. That's one of those strange mysteries because I don't know why, because I think it was like 2004 in there, and we were all doing it except for Sarah, and and I don't know why it didn't go. I mean, like the one that Joss was writing and that we were all voicing. It's still a mystery to me why that Buffy animated series didn't go. Just crazy to me. Working on the comics, I loved working. It was neat because it's like Xander was Joss, right? So it's kind of like, so we had a very unique relationship. I was also the last person that was cast for the show, which makes sense because Joss is having to cast himself. Secondly, working, Joss is a writer's writer, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like how he treats, how he works with writers is different than how he works with actors. And so to be in the room as a writer now and not just an actor, it was, I mean, I know Joss very well, but just kind of be with the other writers as well. And so season 10, I felt really kind of echoed and mirrored the TV show more than any of the other seasons of the comic. And it was neat to see like my ideas kind of like come into, like the reason why Spike and Xander were living together was because of me. Like how we killed that big giant monster thing when we fell in on that building in San Francisco was my idea. I had all these ideas. Giles becoming older again and then and wanting to become a kid again was my idea. So it was neat to kind of just see all these things kind of like from my head and then onto a page and then being drawn out. So that was really awesome. Favorite lines. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let's see. 1, 9. I've got some good stuff here that I see here. Boom. Hold on. Here we go. And Nikki, baby, where are you? Okay. All right. Wait, okay. There we go. Okay. It was hidden somewhere. Okay. Boom. Here we go. I'll just say some of these lines. This is just too much, man. I mean, yesterday my life's like, pop quiz. Today it's like Reign of Toads. I don't like vampires. I'm going to take a stand and say they're not good. I laugh in the face of danger, and then I hide until it goes away. Probably the most important line I said in terms of how I played Xander. When I read that in The Witch, I'm like, okay. That totally encapsulates Xander. With one line good, that's it. For I am Xander, king of Cretans. May all lesser Cretans bow before me. We're right behind you, only further back. And for the record, you're right. I'm an idiot. It's funny how the earth never opens up and swallows you when you want it to. I'm feeling that you're not in the field trip spirit. Come on, Slayer. I like it when you're scared. The more I scare you, the better you smell. Let's just stop this whirly gig of fun. I'm getting dizzy. To read makes our speaking English good. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, whoa, Joss has a TV, everybody. Joss has a TV. He's shallow, just like us. It's called the blaster, Will. A word that tends to discourage experimentation. Now, if it were called the orgasmator, I'd be the first to try your basic button press approach. Just, impressing you with my knowledge of local history or my knowledge of reading. A ghost, what's the deal? Is every frat on this campus haunted? And if so, why do people keep coming to these parties? Because it's not the snacks. Yeah, you smell sin? Well, let me tell you something, lady. She who smelt it, dealt it. It's like what you said, but faster. Sometimes, this is great. Sometimes I think of two girls doing a spell, and then I go do a spell by myself. Oh, fuck, that's awesome. Okay. Respect the crawler. Tame the donut. Now, I'm not sure what... I'm not sure what I am, so bear with me here, okay? Now I lay me down to sleep. Shabbat Israel. Om. Okay, it's awesome. Good stuff here. Let's see here. The first day of kindergarten, you cried because you broke the yellow crayon. You're too afraid to tell anyone. You've come pretty far. And in the world, not a terrific notion, but the thing is, yeah, I love you. I love cranbreaky willow, and I love scary veiny willow. So if I'm going out, it's here. If you want to kill the world, we'll start with me. I've earned that. That's what I got there. Let's see here. And what am I gonna do? I think about sex all the time. Help. 5 times 4 is 30. Help me. 5 times 6 is 32. Naked girls, naked women, naked Buffy. Make it stop. There's a party in my eye socket and everybody's invited. Sometimes I shouldn't say words. This might be the syphilis talking, but some of this is making sense. This will not please the master, Bader. You guys are drawing some pretty crazy conclusions about the unholy prince, Bader. 1, 2, 3, 3 victims. Where'd you get that accent? Sesame Street? I think those are some pretty good highlights. There's so many great lines from Xander. So many great lines. Lastly, if you could give a shout out, boom, done. I can't. I remember the first. So after I booked it, before when there was a different Willow, Riff Regan played Willow initially, and so the first time I met Sarah and Tony and everybody was at Joss's house, and we did like a script read through before we shot the presentation. And I remember we were in the middle of it, and then Steven Spielberg calls Joss at his house because Joss at the time was like the biggest like script doctor in Hollywood, and so he needed help with Twister. So I'm like, Spielberg's calling Joss. I'm like, we actually might have ourselves a hit here. And then it just became it. I was not wrong. I was not wrong at all. And so that's a neat one. And I'll leave you with this one. Nothing can defeat the penis. See ya. Bye. Christine, shout out to you.
Damn, you got like 20 minutes out of that.
It was, it's about 9. Pretty close, though.
Damn.
I can imagine it feels like 20 minutes if you have no idea who that is or what he's talking about.
That's pretty good.
But he, in that sitting, just gave more lines than were likely in any particular episode.
Yeah, and just like...
just burning through them. Yeah, and it's funny because I know all of them.
You must have caught him at the right time.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm sure he got sick of like, happy anniversary, happy whatever. That is like,
Maybe.
let's dig into this,
It's possible. I just think that he's really easygoing and you're getting a payment in your account, so why not spend some time and chat a little bit? Every single one of his videos I looked, he's in a rocking chair. And I don't know if it's that particular one, but that's what he does for all, the whole video, every video. He's just rocking in this chair.
It's my work chair.
So I guess I'm going to take a second and say, Christine, you're welcome.
Ooh, that's a clever trick.
Yeah, that's how I get him.
Right?
I surprise him.
Boom.
Yep. So yeah.
You're welcome.
I would love to sit here and talk to you about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I know you don't know anything.
I don't know it.
We need to get somebody in here that likes to talk and knows a lot about that show, because there's some shit we could talk about.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
I mean, you got 7 years plus the comics.
I'll catch up.
You've got a few episodes to get through.
Who was telling me that they just started watching X-Files again?
That was Kim Hanna.
I know.
Yeah.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
And I went to it. I was
Good show.
Wow, this is so different.
Yeah.
It's just the catching up from the 4x3 and the technology and, and the big computers and the clickety-clack keyboard.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Different.
But the plot's there.
Yeah. Would you watch it?
Probs.
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of growing up, 'cause
Well,
I remember those days. Yeah.
And it's gonna...
My parents watched it,
It's gonna have a slower pacing.
Yes.
Than a lot of the current shows.
Apparently there's going to be an actual story, I don't know, Netflix or whatever, of the death that inspired Twin Peaks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I read that somewhere.
Huh.
So I'll have to look that up again.
Because it's based off of a true thing?
Yeah, or Twin Peaks is based off a real life thing. So this thing, they're actually going to explain that murder. Yeah, I was like... pretty dope.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up, but I don't know if it's on Netflix.
Did it take place in Washington?
Why not? I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, that would make more sense for me. I mean,
that's fair.
With the show.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that.
Buffy stuff.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, you got a lot of good time out of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you break down how much you paid for it, how many minutes. You're like,
yeah, it's cool, dude.
It's not so bad. Yeah.
It's time to start talking Christmas movies, Joe. Fuck. Or, I mean, it could be Christmas anything, but really, what do people talk about? You don't want to talk about shopping. That sucks. So you don't want to talk about, you can't tell people what you're getting them.
Nope.
So you can't really talk about the gifts.
Yep.
And if you tell somebody that you got a particular gift for somebody else, then loose lips sink those
ships.
Christmas ships. Yep. Oh. So you don't want to do that. So what do you got left? You got Christmas movies.
Christmas movies.
Yeah.
This is the best thing I've ever heard of.
So I need you to tell me top 3 Christmas movies.
All right. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, Regis. I'm in the hot seat. I loved Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
Elf. And then probably Christmas Story.
Wait, growing up, did you love Jingle All the Way, or did you later on love it ironically?
Both.
Okay.
Because
Good.
I was that target audience. Came out like 97. I would have been 8.
Got a Turbo Man doll.
Yeah. That was one of...
Did they actually make a Turbo Man doll after that movie?
Maybe.
That'd
that
be
would have been
funny.
cool. Yeah. Yeah. And it had...
Phil Hartman.
Yeah, Phil Hartman in it. And that was kind of one of...
He was trying to get with Arnold's wife.
Yeah.
Not a wise choice, if you're asking me.
Yeah. But that was a fun one. And it had Sinbad.
Yeah.
And then they had just... it was just a funny... Let's run to the radio station. Dash the president or whatever. You know, we all know it. And yeah, so I'd say that one. I don't know. I like Christmas, but this one also goes back to... I thought of Santa Claus today.
All right.
With Tim Allen.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's just always been a thing. And that probably came out in 97 or that came out in
Yeah, about then.
I looked at it. It came out in 94.
Wow.
And I'm like, Father, what? It's just like that long ago. That was like the year we moved in to town.
Wow, 94.
Yeah. And it's just like stuck with me and, you know.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? And there's a documentary out there how they made it and how they had like no budget.
Yeah.
You know, and there's certain, I got to find that, but there's like certain details that they show off that they're like, yeah, we had no money. If you see Santa Claus where he like scares Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? And he kind of falls and slides.
Yeah.
He's like, if you slow it down, you can see it's just this. It's just cotton.
Oh, okay.
So they went super cheap. And they're like, yeah, so he slams down. You
Wait,
can see it
are you
flap
saying
up.
that this isn't, you son of a bitch?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Hollywood shattered there.
Wow.
Yeah.
You telling me these aren't real gremlins?
Boo.
You go to hell, sir.
So, yeah, they broke down just how cheaply they made it. And
That's
then it
funny.
became an iconic movie, you know. But I don't know. I'd say
So maybe Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. I that's where I shoot towards. Santa Claus, Elf, Christmas Story, which airs.
Okay, well, you're giving me way more than 3 now. So I need you to narrow it down.
All right.
So the first one you said?
Elf,
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way. That's right.
So you start, does Jingle All the Way
Number one.
meet,
No?
is it number 1?
Is it? No,
Absolutely.
I thought you were asking me.
Yo, I'm asking you
Yeah.
if it's your number 1.
You know, in recent years, I would say Elf would probably be.
The recent
The
number
one.
1. Okay.
That's just kind of one I gravitate. Like, I try to make it a point to at least catch it
Yeah.
within December.
No, that makes sense.
You know, and just kind of it takes me back a little bit. But yeah, that one.
So Elf is number 1.
Probably
Number 2,
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And number 3.
3 is hard because it's either like Santa Claus or Christmas Story. Mm-hmm. And those are such classics.
Yes.
But for some reason, man. But I would say a Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Just because it's been out longer. Like family members know it, friends know it more, that sort of thing. But like, oh my gosh.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And they're all comedies. They're not like feel good movies. But oh well.
Yeah. I guess I was originally thinking that there weren't a ton of Christmas movies that were necessarily feel good movies.
Yeah.
But they're all slowly coming back to me
Yeah.
now.
Like White Christmas.
And especially like Hallmark needs to stop.
Hallmarking.
Hallmark.
Quit hallmarking.
We get it. And why do you need to pay for a new movie when everybody knows what's going to happen because it happened in last year's Hallmark movie?
Weird.
Yeah.
And all the guys are wearing green.
Yeah.
All the women are wearing red. It's like this weird. Did
the
you
way I
see
like
that
it.
go around?
I saw you sent me a thing
Yeah.
that it was like a picture of all of the movie covers
Yeah.
or movie posters for their movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
it's
all
pretty funny.
pretty much the same. Like no one's ever a blonde, and all the guys have brunette hair.
Well, they figured out what people want to watch.
yeah. Yeah. So there's that. Fucking Hallmark. Save some Christmas for the rest of us.
What? I wonder what are favorite Christmas movies? I understand that I'm the one that asked the question, so I should have this locked and loaded, but I don't. Here's the thing. When it comes to Christmas movies, I love Christmas Vacation, but I don't want to watch it every year.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hate it.
You want to save it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing I do with other franchises that I really love.
Yeah.
I just don't want to burn myself out.
Right.
So I would put Christmas Vacation up there in the top 3.
It's a great one.
Now, we had a conversation. I think it must have been correct. Maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, where we got into it pretty good with another friend of ours about whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. You know what I'm going to do? I'm ready. I mean, we could, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to
Fuck Home Alone, man.
yeah.
God.
I'm pretty sure I still have that episode. If I have that episode, I'm going to put it on our Patreon.
Yes.
So that way people can listen to our conversation about.
They made me
about Die Hard.
basically the child of divorce. And they kind of both looked at me.
Jamie was very anti Die Hard being a Christmas movie, and I think it's undeniable that it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And the same thing has been said in my house recently by my daughter, who supposedly loves me, that Gremlins isn't really a Christmas movie.
Come on.
Really?
Yikes.
You're going to tell me in my own house, after we just got done watching Gremlins, that it's not a Christmas movie? Please, plead your case.
Beep.
Why is this not a Christmas movie?
Gong gong.
I said there's Christmas attire. There is Christmas music. It clearly takes place at Christmas time. And in addition to that, snow everywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
However, if you do watch it on anything that's high definition, you will notice that the snow is not actually snow, and it's a spray foam on everything because it takes place on the Universal backlot.
See? Easy peasy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to, just to save time, I'm going to say Die Hard, absolute #1 Christmas movie.
There you go.
You can't lose. And then I'm going to say #2, Christmas Vacation. And #3, ringing it in out of spite for my 12-year-old who told me that it is not a Christmas movie, Gremlins.
Gremlins. There we go.
So I understand that none of those are really like classics.
No, but I think someone figured out having alternatives
Yeah.
is nice. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of movies out there that cater towards the women and they want to watch something romantic.
Right.
And then the dude's like, Die Hard's on Bruce Willis. Yeah.
I mean,
You know, there's got to be some sort of rhyme or reason to it.
Yep.
Oh, that was my torso cracking.
That's totally normal.
Yeah.
I have another story for you. I went to Target the other day,
There you go.
and I had some stuff that I needed to pick up, and so I did. Or no, wait. How do I tell this story? I went to. I know, right? Are you okay?
And I did. Like,
And I
okay.
did.
Then that's the end. The end.
So we purchased some Christmas lights for our brand new tree. We got a 7.5-foot tree. Very proud of it. We've had the same tree for about 10 years. And I got it from my mom. And I think that
Got it from my mama.
she probably had it at least 15 years prior to us getting
my gosh.
it. It looks decent when you get things on it, but it's not as full as the new trees.
Right.
So anyway, I buy lights for the tree that I really like. They're a little bit more dim. They have kind of a warmer color to them, so they don't look like, we had a few years there with the LEDs at the stores. They did not look great.
Gross.
Well, they're just too bright. Also, they do that weird fucking thing where they flicker.
Yeah, when you move them around.
And there was some that just even me moving my head left to right, you would see this weird, like, flickering to the. I don't know. It was weird. Maybe my brain is on a different frequency than the light bulbs, but it was super.
You pointed that out.
Well, and
Makes
they're
sense.
like blinding.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck do I want that on my tree?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so I get these lights. These lights say that they on the packaging says Philips 100 multi mini blah 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 remains lit if anything happens to any of the bulbs. Okay, we follow so far.
Holding on tight.
Yep.
Click, click, click. Click.
I feel like some things are kicking in for Joe and I, so we're gonna try to wrap up this story as quickly as possible. It is what it is. Oh, I love it. So anyway, I get these lights and I go to plug them in. One of the strands that I purchased, half of it is not lit up.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, not only did I just buy these, but it's going against the biggest, boldest type that's on the fucking packaging. So we get online and I'm like, well, surely our Target in Ames has to have some more or whatever. Sold out. Completely sold out. So we look a little bit further. Okay, they're in Ankeny. They have one. We can order one. I don't know what's so fucking popular about these lights. I was wondering if they made them the year before and this was just like leftover shit or whatever. And apparently all the strands started shutting off halfway through the lights.
Good God.
But that's what I'm saying. So, or they were just undersupplied or just really popular this year. So we get the one that they have. This was at night, so I had to wait until the next day to go and get the lights. I know that I have precious little time to do this stuff during the day. So I get up, my normal time because I'm an adult and I like to sleep in.
11.
So I get up, I get Leia ready, and we are going to Target in Ankeny. But I also grab a couple things because we were returning something. No, we were returning two things and exchanging one thing. Like, we can do it all at the same time. We've been to Target a lot lately. That's what I'm saying. And so we drive there. Leia and I go inside. We find something we're exchanging for her. I'm exchanging this, whatever. I get it up to the counter, and the lady says, are you doing this or this? And I'm like, well, not only am I exchanging something, but I also need to pick something up. And she's like, okay, well, we can do that over here, but we'll start with the exchange, and then we'll go from there. So we go through all the motions. Everything gets done, as far as I'm concerned. And then we head out to the van. We drive home. I'm back basically just in time to get the kids from school. While I'm sitting outside the school, I realize I didn't get the lights. God. Like, the whole reason that I wanted to go to the store in the first place, I didn't get it in time. Now, this is at like 3:20. I have a chiropractor appointment at 4:30. And I say to myself, I can do this. we can do this
Within
together.
An hour. Within an hour.
We can do this. Boom. So I pick up Sam at exactly 3:20, get out of there by like 3:23, let's call it. At about 3:30, let's call it, I'm at the middle school to pick up my daughter.
Oh, man.
So she gets in the car. And they're like, are we going home? And I say, nay, we are not going home because totally planned, I have to go to Ankeny. And I wasn't going to let them know my weakness, forgetting shit.
Dominance.
And I kind of blame the lady behind the counter because she wanted to start with the other thing. And I clearly wanted to, I know my limits. I know I don't remember shit that well. So it is what it is. But I forgive her. It's fine. So we are driving into Ankeny, and it's like Kara's over in the passenger seat doing math like she likes to do. And she was like, Dad, there's no way we're going to make it back in time for your chiropractor appointment. And I said, Kara, I am aware that we're not going to make it back in time.
Oh my God.
Now, riddle me this. Is it going to make me drive faster by you saying this to me?
There you go.
Like, I know what's up. So we're going to try to move as fast as we can. I get into Target and out of Target within about 5-ish minutes, which I was a little intimidating when I first walked in, and I thought that it wasn't going to happen because there was a lot of people. But they had different people coming from the back in order to take your orders, so you didn't have to wait to just get in the front of the line, which was really nice.
Good.
I got in and out of there within 5 minutes. I didn't even park in a parking spot. I parked in front of Target, put on my flashers, and I told Kara as soon as I get out of the car, lock the door, and don't get kidnapped. So I get inside, I get my shit, I get out. It's 4:05. Now I know that it's going to take me at least a half an hour. But I get in, I get going, and I did end up getting to the chiropractor at... I want to say it was 38. It was 4:38. And I get in there and I say, hey, I'm sorry that I'm late. My kids, I didn't say this, but my kids are still in the van at this point. They're just watching the TV in the back. And Kara's, I look outside and she's already got her feet up in the windshield and lounging out. And I say, I'm sorry that I'm late, but it was unavoidable. And she's like, actually, it worked out better this way. So I'm the best.
I was like, damn.
That's the moral of that story. And I got my lights, and they work, and they're in my tree.
That's insane.
Feeling pretty good now.
Yeah, that's some damn good. All the stars aligned for
I know.
it.
It's the way I like it. Whew. So anyway, that's my story. And I'm definitely sticking to it. You remember that country song? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
No.
That's my story.
Rolling story.
Whoa, that's my story.
Okay.
Well, I ain't got a witness, and I can't prove it, but that's my story. There was a 2-year window in which I listened to country music. I'm not proud of it.
Gross.
Yeah. I'm not a fan.
That's, yeah. No.
How you doing over there, Joe?
Dude, country, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I get that, like, it feels comfortable.
The country music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like simple, hey, beach, beer, truck, dog.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's songs that because I listened to them back in the 90s or, whatever. Yeah, it would have been like 97, 98 that I listened to some country, which I would argue was a pretty great time because you had your Garth Brooks, you had your Tim McGraw coming on the scene, you had your Dixie Chicks.
Yeah.
Well, before they changed their name.
Yeah.
And there was some good stuff.
Damn.
But then I moved on with my life.
Yeah.
And I don't listen to country music anymore. As a matter of fact, with the exception of, I'm going to say maybe 100 songs that I might remember from back in the day. Well, 100 might be extreme. Maybe like, we'll call it 80 songs. I bet I could sing along with 80 country songs.
That could work.
Even like veering into when country was starting getting a little bit more, not quite mainstream, not like the Taylor Swift kind, but everywhere you would go, you would hear like Big and Rich.
Like big names.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Brooks and Dunn.
Exactly.
Not like this mid-range dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck those mid-range dudes.
Come on, mid-range.
I don't like them. Come over here, mid-range. I'm going to show you what's up.
You still work in the bar scene? Come on.
But yeah, I bet there's a good number out there. And I can I don't like to do it, but I will karaoke a country song if challenged.
All right.
And dare I say, I do it better than the original artist.
Probably. Alan Jackson.
Who was the dude that he's a country guy, but he had a music video and it was just like a light swinging. And so the light would catch him in his ripped, shirtless self, just standing there with no shirt, a cowboy hat on, and just a light swinging and it doesn't even cut to anything else. Yeah. This is the whole fucking music video.
I don't know.
I'm like,
what? Okay.
What is this?
Right.
This is what country music is now?
You're being hypnotized.
Like, what the fuck am I watching?
Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They want to save money, make money by like not having any budget. It's like, all right, here we go. That's what it's gonna be. It's like gonna be a weird chandelier.
I feel like this was another one of those episodes that ended up all over the place.
Yeah. We had our distractions. We had to kind of rework the mics.
You've really got to sit down and watch all of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All of it. I think that was my problem, is I never really started, like, for some reason
Did you feel like you were left out of it at home?
A little bit.
So that's why you were like, fuck that show.
I don't know.
I'm not going to watch this.
Like, they were cool if I was interested in it.
I see.
It's kind of one of those things where I was just indifferent. Or I would catch it, like, in a weird, like, all right, don't know what's going on. Just shit like that. And then it's like, all right, start from the beginning, give a shit about it, and go.
Do you have Prime?
I got Prime.
It is on Prime.
Ooh, I got some
but
Prime.
It's thank you. It is on Prime, but it's the edited version. Well, it's confusing. Nobody cares about this. I'm going to say it anyway.
Bonus features.
It was never meant to be a widescreen show. And they went in and recropped everything so it could be the best that they could get for widescreen. There's a lot of shots that people have found where you can actually see part of the set in the background once they've switched to widescreen. And there's even one clip where the camera's moving fast, but you can see the camera crew.
Those are always fun.
And I mean, Joss said from the beginning it was never supposed to be in widescreen. And then another issue that a lot of people have complained about, and I get it, they didn't do any actual color correction to it to make it match the way the original airing of the show was. Because when they recropped everything, it lost all of that because you're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
So you watch a scene where something's supposed to be glowing a certain way, and that's the way you remember seeing it way back when and on the DVDs or whatever, but it's not the same lighting on Prime. However, you can still watch the show, so that's good. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's getting people interested.
Yeah.
But, so I apologize for putting you through a Buffy
that makes sense. They did
portion of the episode.
They did that with Simpsons a little bit on.
That's true. Disney. They had a whole conversion problem.
We had to wait until May, and now it's finally fixed.
But it is all better.
Yeah.
Did they have to go in episode by episode?
I would imagine.
That's so weird.
Because what they had was they had the rights to it.
Yeah.
And then a little thing called FXX came out, the channel.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, FX and then FXX. Mm-hmm. And they bought like all of the Simpsons.
That's 1X away from a very different kind of channel.
FXX.
What if we get rid of that F?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, we can make them pay more money. So, Simpsons ran straight through. Wow. They said, at this time, we're going to start the very first Simpsons, and we will run every single Simpsons episode that we can.
I remember that happening.
In order.
And how long did that take?
Forever. But they had the rights to it, and when they put it on their platform, they cropped all of them to widescreen. So you're cutting the side pieces off.
Yeah.
And so then Disney bought it because Disney came out.
Right.
And they bought it from FXX. And so then a bunch of people complained about it, including me. Well,
so
I didn't.
They bought the syndication rights?
They bought like the episodes. For some reason, they had like the widescreen versions that weren't supposed to be widescreen. Like in the first however many seasons.
Okay. So does The Simpsons still get played on TV as reruns? Or because Disney has it, did they shut that shit down?
I should look.
You remember
on Fox every night at 5 o'clock
for years.
Yeah,
It like you couldn't escape The Simpsons.
No, every
on
night,
the weekend.
every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if there was some other shit going on, but they looped you in. It was a fun show.
Yeah.
And they had the special shows that we all knew were coming. Treehouse of Horrors.
Yeah.
Like a special within a, you know.
I think it's funny that they had that as the name of the episode, and then they just kept it forever, keeping it as
it makes sense.
The treehouse.
And then I went back, you know, it's on Disney now. And so I've gone back to the ones I grew up with. I'm like, oh, and then a little earlier.
I want to go back and watch the Conan
Yeah.
episodes. Like the monorail.
Yeah, monorail. Yeah. I'm starting, well, it changed over in May.
Yeah.
And I wound up starting from very first one. So I'm like halfway through season 2. But it's like crazy to watch and be like, wow, they're so dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. You know, so it's kind of a weird empathetic side when you get older that you're like, oh, you're seeing shit that wasn't necessarily supposed to be funny or whatever. It's like, okay. I guess I laughed at that.
Or maybe it was, and it's not allowed to be funny.
True.
Anymore.
It's a different
There's some
time.
of that.
Yeah. So I'm working my way through Simpsons.
Nice.
Because I can.
Yeah, I don't think in my lifetime I will ever watch all of the episodes, but I will go back to watch some that I grew up with, and yeah, especially the high school years.
Yeah.
My high school years.
Then it's fun to like check in every once in a while and see like a brand new Simpsons and be like, what are they in tune with? Because I can't tell you the last time I've seen.
I want to know the numbers
Yeah.
of people that watch it versus what it used to be.
Yeah, like 97.
And it would also be interesting to see the data that Disney sees.
behind this-
What seasons get watched the most?
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't imagine anybody's really tuning in to watch 2 seasons ago. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you've got all of that to choose from?
Yeah, they go to the nostalgia.
Yeah, right?
Probably.
One would think. Everybody go watch The Simpsons.
Do it.
Or watch Buffy if you haven't watched that.
Buffy.
Which, I
So-
don't know what that was. Buffy!
Whatever you want. Gremlins.
I forget what I was saying.
Gremlins.
I think we're finished. I think we did an episode.
That's it.
Yeah, that's not bad. We did okay. Thank you to everybody
You guys
that's
rock.
watching and
Yeah.
checking in with us. We love you long time, and we'll be back. Well, you know, we do it the same thing every
We get
week.
it. We get
We'll
it.
be back soon.
Dig.
We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.